Hello, everyone. My name is Michael Bueller. I work for the Catholic School Board in Northern Ontario. And today I am here with Father Henri Touwaboy, who is here to talk to us about his latest book. And Father Henri, I've had the pleasure of knowing you for 5 years now. And you've been in Canada for 19 years. Is that correct?
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
Yes. And you are a French writer.
Yeah,
And we're
exactly.
yes, and we're doing this interview in English.
In
So
English, yeah.
this interview, I think, serves two good purposes. Number one, if you enjoy reading in French, then you will be interested in this and the work of Father Henry. And if you don't read in French, you might still be interested in just knowing the work of Henry, Father Henry who is a priest in the Timmins area. So thank you for listening to this interview. And as we begin, Father Henry, English is not your first language.
No, it's my fourth language.
Your fourth language.
I speak my native language, and Sango is my national language, and French, and then English.
Yeah, so you wrote a book in your third language, in French. That's pretty impressive. And can you tell us briefly where some of the places where you have studied?
Okay. Start with in my country. I'm from Central African Republic, and Bangui is my capital. And start with my country, secondary school. I went to Gabon for my philosophy up to BA. I went there after that to Nigeria.
So where's Gabon?
Gabon is in Africa.
Okay.
Is in the central region of Africa.
Okay, central region. Very good. Yeah.
Then after that, I went to Nigeria. Nigeria also, Nigeria is one of the biggest countries in Africa. Yeah. To study in English.
Yes.
My theology. And then I come back to Cameroon in Catholic University of Cameroon.
Okay.
For a master's degree in theology.
And that's in French.
Theology in French.
Yeah.
And then in Canada for my PhD and others.
Okay, wonderful. And you have traveled the world, obviously, and been in Paris in France.
Yeah. We have our house there in Paris as a Spiritan. I'm a Spiritan. Father, we have our house there in Paris.
I've stayed at that house in Paris, by the way. It's a wonderful place. It's awesome. In case you're ever traveling in Paris, connect with the Spiritans.
Yeah.
Anyways, you've written a number of books and a number of articles as well. At least 3 books that I know of, or have you written?
Yeah.
And I'm just wondering what the main area of your research and your studies has been.
Okay, I studied in theology and philosophy, and the main common ground is ethics.
Ethics.
Ethical philosophy and theology.
Okay.
So I've written so many articles, 4 or 5 by years, for around 5 or 6 years.
Okay.
And on ethics, theological and philosophical ethics, that, and some books also. So
I was going to ask you, when you study and write about ethics, who are some of the thinkers who have influenced your studies?
Yeah, many of them, but I don't like to be so influenced. That is, they teach me how to think and how to write.
Okay.
And I'm traditional, so I go to the traditional writers like Thomas Aquinas, Aristotle. Some of those, and I'm modern also. Some of the modern, they do not influence my study, but they help me to think, and sometimes I go against them, like Jean-Luc Marion and all the Rawls, John Rawls, and all the modern philosophers and theologians. So they also help me to think and the way to go with my books and my studies.
Yeah, these great scholars, they give us language to think with.
Language to think with.
Yeah.
And the deepness of reflection thinking. So
it's quite profound. Yeah. So ethics is that sort of like, is there anything more specific within ethics, like in terms of the ideas that you might be defending or trying to bring forth for people's
Yeah.
meditation?
In the first book, I reflect on the how people receive the theology and the teaching of the church
Okay.
and morals. So we have some very big moral issue in the church going there, and how people receive that, sort of criticism. So I do a research on how people receive the teaching of the church on many issues, euthanasia, and marriage issue, and homosexuality, and so on and so on.
Yeah.
So I do a research and how to present the teaching of the church so that people may understand us very more or better.
Yes.
So is my research on that.
So it's not
It
just
was
how
called-
people receive; it's how the church
how the
teaches.
church
Yeah.
we present it and all these things.
Yes.
This is the first book. I think I have one copy here. Yeah. Le discours moral de l'Église. That is the teaching of the moral
Yeah.
teaching of the church.
Now this book, if
That is the first one.
this is available on Amazon, is it
Yeah,
not?
it's available on Amazon.
Yeah. Okay.
The moral teaching of the church.
Yeah.
And how people receive it and how we can do to present better our teaching or the church teachings to the people.
Yes. Very good.
That is the first. The second one is also on ethics, but on peace
Peace,
and interreligious peace.
interreligious peace.
I
Yeah.
was not happy. I'm not happy with what is going on with the other authors presenting the issue of peace, interreligious peace. The proposition they give us was not enough for me. So I think we have to rethink the theology and the philosophy of peace, interreligious peace. The first proposition, for instance, is from Hans Kung. He's one of the greatest author on this interreligious dialogue and interreligious peace. And Hans Kung proposed to us to go for a consensus, that is a common ground on faith, on doxa, and on ethics, so as to live in peace together.
Yes.
And I have problem with that because for me to live with a Muslim, we supposed not to believe in the same thing before we live together at peace.
Yeah, you can each have your own belief.
You can have our own belief.
Yes.
This consensus on doxa, on ethics,
Yes.
is not enough. It's difficult to get anyway. I'm not obliged to accept that Muhammad is a prophet and a great saint for me to live in peace with him, and I do not expect him to accept Jesus as the savior on this thing for me to believe in peace with him. So that is why I disagree with on that issue of world ethics. That is the ethics of, in order to live in peace with Anscombe. And the second set of people who propose something are the theologians of tolerance. They say the peace, interreligious peace, must pass through tolerance.
Tolerance.
Yeah, tolerance. Yeah, we have to tolerate ourselves in order to live in peace. I have a problem with that also, because in common life, we tolerate just something we don't like. If I love something, I don't tolerate it. If I tolerate something, it means I don't like it. It become a problem to me, but I accept it despite.
So toleration is sort of like a negative.
Negative something.
Yeah, you can turn your nose up at it.
Yeah.
But
So, okay, I accept it.
Okay.
Another problem with that is, what is the limit of toleration? What is the limit of tolerance? That is up to when I have to tolerate something. You understand?
Yes.
So who decide that is enough to tolerate or is not enough to tolerate? This is a great issue that it can leave to each person deciding, okay, it is enough or not. You know, one of the great thinkers about tolerance is what is his name again here? Is John Locke, John Rawls. John Locke also, but John Rawls is one of the greatest one. He was saying, okay, we have to tolerate everybody, even we have to go further to tolerate those who people don't like. And then, but he said, except Catholics, you should not tolerate Catholic. Why you should not tolerate Catholic? Because Catholic, they believe they receive the order from Rome, and they are dangerous for society. We live in the town, we live together, and there is a law of the town, but there they receive the law from Rome, and then they disturb the togetherness of the town. So we should not tolerate them. And some we say we should not tolerate Muslims because they are violent. So you need to toleration become a problem. In the limit of toleration, who to tolerate, who not to tolerate.
Can I ask you, in your studies regarding toleration and living with one another, did you explore what it is that connects all people together?
Yeah, that is why I come to my proposition in this book. In
the latest book?
You know, is the theology of religions. That is the second book I'm talking about. Yeah. So since I am against the consensus of dogma and this thing to live together, since I'm against the toleration, that is not enough.
Not enough. Yeah.
Become and for me, Christian, I'm called to love and not to tolerate. So now my proposition is on two things: love and justice.
Love and justice. Okay.
Those who talk about tolerations, the New West, like Walzer, like Martha Nussbaum, and all those great philosophers who talk, they say it's not enough. Toleration can be applicable only if it comes in the sphere of justice. Without justice, we cannot talk about toleration. Okay. I say justice is enough. I don't need to tolerate you. I have to be just again toward you.
Yes.
You understand?
Yes.
Justice take care of all the issue, the theology and the philosophy of toleration was talking about.
Yeah.
That is why I come on justice. Justice as the virtue to live together in the society, and charity as the justice also to live together in the society.
Okay.
I say it's enough, and from them I taken from Thomas Aquinas, I taken from Aristotle. That is the proposition I make in that book.
Okay, wonderful. Now, in your latest book, that has just been published, or it's in the process?
Yeah, it's published already at February.
In February.
In February, I'm expecting the book to arrive. So.
Yeah, so the book hasn't even officially arrived yet.
No, I bought it, but
it's hot off the press.
Yeah.
So
your latest on his way.
Can you maybe just for the people watching, what is the title of your latest book?
It's in French also. Politique et bien commun en Afrique noire. Politics and the common good in
Africa.
In Africa.
Yeah. Okay. So
the case of Central African Republic. So
yes, and now the Central African Republic.
Yeah.
This is where you're from.
Yeah, where I'm from.
And the focus of the book is on this country.
On this country, I use this country as an example to tell the problem of common good in all Africa. You understand? Okay. Because it's the same problem in this, but for the scientific way to analyze, I have to use this particular country, and before I speak about the other countries in Africa.
How many different religious or cultural groups would be in the Central African Republic?
We have Muslim, Christians,
Muslim, Christian,
and the native traditional
The
religion.
traditional religions as well,
So,
yeah. And in terms of Christianity, there's Catholicism, and I assume
yeah,
there's
80% of the people in my country are Christians. 60 or 40 something are evangelics.
yeah, evangelical, yeah,
Evangelical, and 30 or 30% are Catholic.
Catholic. Very good. Okay, so do you think? What do you see this book, your latest book now, with a focus on the Central African Republic? What do you see it contributing to dialogue in that country?
Yeah, is the problem there is the problem of trouble and development. There are a lot of troubles there.
Troubles, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
that is people fighting themselves, politicians, and the problem of development also. And I say to solve those problems, we have to go to the root of politics. Why politics? The aim of the politics is to serve the common good, and to serve the common good, and the common good in the way Aristotle see it in his in Politics 1 and Politics 2, and also Ethica Nicomachi Ethics, and the way police see it as the happiness of the people living in the society, in the city. Yeah.
Do you think politicians in the Central
So
African Republic focus on that?
they don't focus on that. That is the main problem we have there, and the main problem of poverty
Poverty.
and the problem of fighting around trouble and all these things, because they don't focus on the common good and the happiness of the country. Is
What do the politicians focus on?
because they want to keep all the things. They have we have two problems there. We have the problem of colonialism and neo-colonialism. We have the problem of the politician there.
So colonialism and neo?
Colonialism,
Yeah.
neo-colonialism,
Yeah.
neo.
Neo-colonialism. So there's a new. What's the new wave of colonialism?
The new colonialism is the big societies we have there who will come from Europe and France and all these countries to the country, because the country is very rich in natural resources.
Oh, okay.
Diamond, gold,
Diamonds and gold.
wood. Yeah, we have
Wood.
diamond all over the country.
Yes. Okay.
This,
So lots of diamonds and wood. You're saying
gold,
gold. Yeah.
wood, and all the mineral
Yes.
you need for industry.
Yes.
The country is blessed for that.
Yes. So companies are continuing to buy their way in.
Yeah, but in a bad way.
Yes, in a bad way.
In the bad way, it means if there is trouble, we get it free. You understand?
Yeah, if there's trouble,
if
they
there's
get
trouble
it.
in the country, we get everything free.
Yeah.
If there is no state, the state is weak.
So are the companies contributing, or the neo-colonialists contributing to the destabilization?
The destabilization,
yeah, okay.
Exactly, of the country.
So does your...
And the politician also, they don't have the love of the country there.
Yeah.
They also take their parts.
Yeah, so the politicians, they worry about themselves a little bit.
Most of the politicians have also their group, terrorist group.
Yeah.
I call them terrorist group.
But they
fight for them on the thing. So more I'm strong, more I can impose myself, more
Yes.
I can have a big share of the riches of the country.
Right.
So we need to go to really to common good, and work on unity, and putting the politics at the service of the common good in order to save this thing.
So do you think
people cannot come and exploit us if we live together in unity and in common good? So when people say, oh, it's because of people are exploiting us for outside, they come from outside to exploit us, it is not enough reason. The reason is because people are not united, and they don't apply the politics of common good, and they don't. That is why they give way to people to come and exploit them.
So your book one contribution your book may bring is that there may not be a lot of people articulating this problem in the
Yeah,
Central African Republic.
exactly.
So some people might actually read this and sort of think to themselves like, okay,
Yeah,
we
oh my
need to
God.
take a deep breath and think
Uh,
about how
articulate,
we,
yeah.
yeah, no, like,
How can we live in a very rich country and live as poor people?
yeah,
How
how can
can
you
we
live in a
adjust
rich
organize
country and be poor?
and be
Yeah,
poor? Yeah, and how can we organize ourselves to live well and happy? Because this is the aim of the politics.
yes,
It's happiness. How can we live happily in the country?
yeah,
This my book give a contribution, a solution
good.
to that this great problem now.
It is a great problem. I know in my own travels, I have seen this elsewhere abroad as well, overseas, and uh, so that's very interesting to hear that this is
Yeah,
a continued problem in the Central African Republic.
exactly.
Um, is there anything else you'd like to say about the book before maybe I ask you about your future work? Is there anything else that you would like to say about your new book?
No, I think the same problem we have in Central Africa is almost the same problem we have in Cameroon, other countries, the corruption and all this violence and
Yeah.
this thing. So the book it can help also to to solve the problem of other African countries there.
So if a French
On
reader,
politics, yeah.
as someone who likes to read in French, picks up your book, does not know very much about Africa, will they sort of be drawn
Exactly,
into the story?
because I have
Okay.
one chapter, the first chapter, explain everything that is going on in
Okay.
Africa, the geography, the riches, the history, the also the economy, everything. So the first chapter take care of that before we start about and
Okay.
also the history with the conflict history and all these things. So it helps to
Okay.
know very well
Good.
about the country.
Okay.
Thank you.
So last question I'll ask you, unless you have more to add, but do you plan on continuing your studies and your writing and research and stuff like that?
Yeah, I have two books again. I'm planning to write. Though this will be the greatest book, the fundamental for me in philosophy and in theology in future, if God allow me to live again. And the first in philosophy is about relationship.
Okay.
Relationship between you and I. We call it intersubjectivity.
Okay.
And on intersubjectivity is very important because why we cannot live together in peace. Always come to that problem of living together in peace, in harmony, in happiness. And what I focus there, I say the philosophy of others is the same thing. The way I think about others, because like the relationship between you and I, the way I think about others affect, this is my thesis, affects my relationship with him. And we have to mind, the philosophy have to mind how they think about otherness. Because all the philosophy of otherness, the tradition of that, can involve that I don't live peacefully with others. I give you some example. The Second World War, during the Second World War, if you go back to the root of that, is the problem of what people think about others. What Hitler think about the Jews. They say the Jews are like that, therefore we can allow to do that to them. The slavery and the colonization in Africa go with the philosophy of others. Many philosophers think, is the black man really a man? Is it equal to white man? And so they give a lot of theory and they say, no, he's not quite a human being. And if he's not quite a human being, it is allowed to go and take him and make him a slave. You understand?
Yes.
The way we look at others, the way we see otherness is the key issue. So I have a problem with the tradition of the philosophy of otherness.
Okay.
It's come to, I divide this tradition into two. The first one is those I call egologic tradition.
Okay.
Ego is me.
Okay.
The logic of me.
Yeah.
Egocentric. Egologic
Yeah.
is
Egocentric,
egocentric
yeah.
Something. So the egologic, we say, what I think about others is true because I'm the center of cogito ergo sum.
I must be right.
I think then I exist, so I
Yeah.
must be right. So it starts by Descartes and go to the phenomenologists, some of the phenomenologists, Husserl, and all those great phenomenologists. They think about others, they do projection on others,
Yeah.
and therefore others are there like they think. And this one is dangerous. And I see, I tell you why already, because how we think about Jews, we think about black people, and then they are like that, and therefore we do something to them. It's very dangerous. The others exist only through me, through my thinking,
Yes.
through the way I see them, through my sight. The second perspective is alterocentrism. And you see this with Levinas. Emmanuel Levinas and others. The alterocentrists may say, okay, because there are so many bad things in the world, and the ego is dangerous.
The ego is dangerous.
Yeah, because of that, now I will think only through the other. I will protect the other. And otherness become a god.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm at the service of other, and what is important is other, not me. You understand?
Yes.
And Levinas put it in such a way that other I will become a slave of others, and other is becoming, the otherness is almost a god. And it is very dangerous of that. If I go to Africa also and see in the African culture, stranger is a big thing. When you are a stranger, you are well received. If I don't have food to eat, you are a stranger, I have to give you my food. I can sleep without eating. You understand?
That's a wonderful tradition.
Yeah, order is always first.
Okay,
like
the other is always first.
Levinas put it there. But in contrary, so many people go there and do whatever they like.
Yeah.
You understand?
I do. Yeah.
They can call there with a colonialist mentality, and they find a ground.
Yeah. They can take advantage of hospitality too, eh?
Very much advantage of hospitality.
Yeah.
To solve the problem, I put a symmetry between that. I say, okay, what I must be equal to other in other way. I must not kill other, he must not kill me too.
And we must honor one another too.
Yeah. To do that, what make me to be equal, not to kill ourselves, to do to you the same thing I want you to do to me, what make it possible to do that? Around two things. And I come back to my proposition, agapo dikeid. Agapo is love, and dike is justice. So my two grounds, so in all the book you are talking about it, so justice and love. Justice allows me to consider other as I consider myself. You understand?
Yes.
It's
like the golden rule.
Put a relationship, and love also allow me first to love myself, as Jesus said, love others as you love yourself. I have to love myself, and I have to love others. So the two things are there for us to move together without me abusing you, and without you, that is egocentrism, egology, without you abusing me, that is alterocentrism, Emmanuel Levinas and others.
Mm-hmm.
So that is my proposition, to put symmetry to put equality between the relationship. So we have to think the tradition of philosophy of subject, or philosophy of otherness, that put this same equality between. And this is my book in philosophy to come.
Yeah, okay.
And in theology, you have a question? Or?
Oh, I was just going to ask if you were summing up what your future work is. I wondered. I would like you to tell the people watching once more what the title of your new book is, because we don't have
I give you the idea.
Yeah, we have these two original publications, but your new book that's just coming out now on Amazon.
Politique et bien commun en Afrique noire. I told you already.
Yeah. Just want to make sure we have
le cadre de la République centrafricaine. The politics and common good in Africa. The case of the Central African Republic.
Yeah. Okay. Good. So and people can find it on Amazon.
Amazon and everything.
And if they can't remember the title of your latest book,
Henri Touwaboy.
Then Henri Touwaboy
on Google.
Touwaboy. Yeah. Yeah. I should have spelled it out, but maybe I'll see if we can type your name on the bottom of the screen here. But Henri Touwaboy.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So. That's good for today. Anything else that we should talk about yet?
No.
Okay. I appreciate very much. Thank you so much.
Thank you. No, I'm happy to discuss with you. Despite my English, I don't know.
Oh, it's wonderful.
I hope you understand what I'm saying.
I do, and it's so interesting. And I wish that I could read competently in French, which I cannot.
Yeah.
So I am going to see if we can get this book translated into English, and then I can read it and enjoy it.
Exactly.
Thank you. Thank you. So peace to you all, my friends, and thank you for watching.
Okay.